The content in this magazine could contain references of topics and difficult subject matter that may be triggering. Please honor yourself, inner knowing, and proceed with whatever help or guidance you feel is intuitively aligned. Welcome to Sovereign Magazine Podcast. I'm Nicole George, CEO and founder of Sovereign. I'm so happy you are here. We are the magazine, podcast, and community guiding 5 million women to their sovereign selves. From heart-led conversations to magical meditations, our inspiring guests will show you how they can help you step into your sovereign self. Are you ready to listen to your inner voice and step into your power? Then keep listening to hear all of the intuitive messages meant for you today. Hello. Today I have the privilege of reconnecting with Kiki Rae, one of our amazing contributors. She is a trauma-informed wealth embodiment mentor, redefining wealth consciousness for visionary 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs. She is an international best-selling author, manifestation expert, and the founder of the Quantum Breath Academy. She fuses neurosomatic rewiring with energetic embodiment to help you heal your wealth wounds so that you can create, hold, and multiply money without sabotaging your success. Her work goes beyond financial literacy, and she is here for your financial liberation so that money is never again the reason you say no to your desires. Welcome back, Kiki.
Hi, thank you for having me back. I'm so excited.
I know. It's so fun to hear all the things that you do. Like when I read these
Girlfriend,
bios.
you read that so well.
I read these bios. I have so much fun. I'm like, gosh, this is so amazing. We have such amazing people in our world.
I'm so grateful for the platform you create.
Oh, thank you. Well, we are talking about growth today, which is our theme for our August new moon issue. And in your article, Why Growth Often Means Loss, What Happens Before the Quantum Leap, you reveal why we all say we want a quantum leap, but the part that nobody really talks is the fact that there's going to be some identity shifting and some people in your life that you've been holding on to that might need to go. And you've been doing some, unconscious sabotage, if you will. So for those who haven't read your article yet, why don't you share a little bit about it and why you wrote it?
Totally. So one of the things that the internet is really good at doing is showing the highlight reel and showing all of the things that come after the success is created. But no one talks about the real on what is required to get to that quantum leap, which is what a mentor once told me, and now I have adopted, is the quantum crumble. So it's like this tower moment, if you will, if you're into tarot, where everything that does not serve your new identity has to fall away. And the longer that you claw onto it and grip onto it, even though you know that it's not meant to come with you, it's going to keep you from that next level. And so a lot of the time people are like, well, yeah, I want that thing, but they're not willing to do the hard thing to let go of what's no longer serving. And every single time that I've gone through an up level in my business and my life, it's come on the back end of some really hard times.
Yeah, it's so funny. This morning, I posted this exact thing. I was like, we're about to go into our next issue called transformation. What are you gripping onto? What needs to go? And here we are talking about growth. And it's the same concept, right?
Yeah.
And I often think about it from the perspective of my old self couldn't come along with me to this new version because I outgrew her. And I wouldn't say her identity didn't match mine anymore, but she wouldn't have been able to hold the capacity that I am right now. And I know you talk a lot about this. So why don't we go into a little bit of nervous system regulation, capacity holding, this type of thing when it comes to growth?
I'm so happy you asked this because this is the season that I am in right now. And I've actually been working through my own imposter syndrome because 6 months ago, right on the cusp of celebrating my 10-year cancerversary. About 13 days before that date, the doctor told me that they had found 2 lumps in my breast. And that has rocked me because they weren't able to give me much more than that. It was very much we need to monitor this because this is our first initial scan. I won't bore you with all of that, but what I will say is that a past version of me would not have been able to hold that news without then going off the deep end, going into chaos mode, and being able to hold a 6-figure business at the same time. And what I'm working through right now is that I'm actually not in a season of growth, and I haven't been since getting that news. However, I have also not gone the opposite direction of losing income, which is, again, something a past version of myself wouldn't have been able to do. So I'm holding these 2 things at once where we're just in a season of a little bit of stagnancy, which is fine, but there is also this imposter syndrome that comes along of, who am I to be the wildly wealthy woman if I am not growing my business? And the truth of the matter is, coming back to this instance of, you only get a snippet on social media, that is what's actually true and real, is that maybe the 1% of the 1% is growing month over month. But the vast reality for a lot of people is that there are seasons of just anchoring in 10K months and staying, in that range rather than constantly going from 10K to 20K to 50K to 100K. Like, that's not the real. That's not it. So I've had to be able to hold in my capacity, in my nervous system, like the duality of, I am still the wildly wealthy woman. I am still the embodiment of this, plus all of these other things that life has been handing me, of familial issues, my own health, my own business, serving my clients, all of this going on while not sabotaging my business and my growth. So that has been a very fun season to be walking through.
Yeah. And, we always say growth is not linear when it comes to like a spiritual journey, right? But it also is the same for the financial journey. I can mirror back to you. I am also in a time of holding pattern, if you will.
Yeah.
More so from my energy. About 3 or 4 months ago, I just stopped wanting to do my sales. Like, I just was so blah about it. And it's really my fault. I'm the one who kind of just sabotaged it all, right? And now I'm back into it and everything's fine. But we go through these seasons and we think that growth always has to be going up. We always have to be growing. We always have to be doing more personal growth. But sometimes we just need to be in this holding pen, right?
Yeah. The really beautiful thing is that it is this, you realize looking back that you are actually, and this is where I've really anchored into, of the identity of the woman who has so much on her plate and isn't really freaking out about it. Like, there are days, don't get me wrong, my human has been humaning recently. But there are, for the most part, I'm not stressed out. I'm not losing sleep. I'm still in a good routine, like all of these things. And again, my human will human. And I've been maybe consuming a little bit more alcohol than I normally would these days. But that's just par for the course of, you're going to go through. Nothing is ever completely on a straight line, completely linear. You have these ups and downs. And the point of this work, of the capacity, of the identity, is that you actually catch yourself much sooner than a past version of you would. And you say, oh, okay, well, now I have this awareness. What am I going to do about it? What am I going to do to shift it? And sometimes the truth of the matter is, you don't. You just hold it for a little bit longer. You continue with well, I know that I shouldn't be having this glass of wine, but I'm still having it because I'm in this season where that's making me feel good, and it's not something that's sustainable for me personally. So I know that something has to shift. And it's that hyper awareness that when you have that, you can then move through it faster to get to that new identity, new upgrade, new timeline.
It is time to rise. We are being called to stand behind independent voices, movements, and media that refuse to be owned. Sovereign Magazine has never spoken to an advertiser, a corporation, or a billionaire. We are a grassroots movement made for and funded by you. If you are ready to rise, to shatter ceilings, and to stand in your truth, do it with us. It's free. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share. Every click helps us reach more people around the globe, ready to remember who they are. Are you coming with us? Yes, I can identify with this so much. My ability to be like, oh, I recognize that pattern, or oh, I'm having that outer body experience watching myself do these silly things again.
Yeah.
Like I see that quicker now. And I'm just realizing we forgot to talk about what we're going to do for steps to your sovereign self. So I'm going to ask you off the cuff here.
Okay.
What do you normally do to help you shift yourself out of a season? I know you love this question.
My go-to, it's this concept of slowing down in order to speed up. I thrive in consistency, but my consistency doesn't always look the same because I get bored easily. So as long as I have something that is keeping me, and of course, being human, I fall out of it and then I get back into it. But for myself personally, it's a practice of coming back inward. I've found for myself, my clients have found this. It's maybe not for everyone, but for the most part, your people are relatively spiritual. It's the process of doing the thing that you need to do to cleanse and purge the body, the energy, so that the outer wisdom can be channeled through you. And then the matter is, once you get the hit, moving with it, taking action with it. But you can't take that action if you're not dialed in to the identity of the version of you who's taking that action, that successful version of you. The one who doesn't have the energy, I don't want to say motivation, but the buildup of that frequency, and then the nervous system capacity. So my big three things are those: anything that's working on my identity, my nervous system, and my energy, which is what I call the trifecta of wealth inside my line of work. So some practices are a version of an adaptation of a Tony Robbins priming practice that I've adapted from my community, but I always like to give credit where credit's due. I have breathwork, Kundalini, EFT tapping. I do Reiki. That's kind of slowly come back. I ignored it for quite some time, but anything, moving my body, going to the gym, going on a walk, things like that to constantly be getting the energy moving. So right now I've been in a 21-day Kundalini practice with my community.
How yummy is that? Yeah, I love that you mentioned this because for about 2 months, I felt like there was a cloud between me and my spirit team, my spirit guides. You felt the same?
Yeah, I go through that all the time when I'm out of practice.
Yeah. And so I did all the things that I know how to do to get into alignment, right? I started journaling again. I started meditating again. I'm doing my breath work. I also got off socials and all these things that would disconnect me, right? And having a media company and getting off socials is hilarious. But
wild.
Yeah, but it wasn't working. And it wasn't until I started working with a practitioner. And this is why I highly recommend you working with Kiki, because sometimes we are still getting in our own way. And it wasn't until I started working with a shamanic practitioner and I met my 3 new guides. I was telling you about this before we started talking. I was like, oh, that's what's been going on. They've been waiting for me to meet them. Okay, I wasn't ready for it. And that's what this whole holding pen has been for, was this next up level. And so sometimes when the breath work isn't working, or the Kundalini or the journaling and all of this stuff, you need to find your person. You need to find that person to help you move to that next level, because you can be your biggest block.
Totally. We all have our own blind spots. I'm like, I can do this for my people all day long. That's why I'm always working with my own mentor, because that keeps me in embodiment, in integration, and holds me accountable to the things that I say that I want and going after them. But the big thing too that I just quickly want to mention is, like, so often we're doing the things to get. It's like, no, release that and do the things to be with self, to come back home, because that's one of the most important pieces of this journey, is that when you slow down, you come back to center, you come internal, that's when all of the external will naturally show up.
100%. And see, for me, I make myself do those things because it makes me slow down. Because my mind is going 1,000 miles a minute, journaling, breath work, meditation, things like that make me slow down and be quiet. Otherwise, I can't connect in. And then once I get to that place of stillness and I have it more on a daily basis, then my channel's more clear. But it's almost like clearing up a lint roller, right? I like have to tear off a new sheet sometimes and start over because it's just so darn clouded.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
All right. Well, if you're ready to go to the next level, you definitely need to connect with Kiki. She will get you there. She is magical. I have seen what she's done. She is just amazing. All her details are in the show notes. She's in our community.sovereign-magazine.com, and definitely seek her out. Thank you so much for being here today.
I appreciate you so much.
Oh, same, my love. Thanks for listening. I'll be back tomorrow with another soul-led entrepreneur here to help you step into your sovereign self. Subscribe to our magazine and podcast and join our global community for all the magic. Details to connect with today's guest or join the movement are in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review. It helps us reach our goal of guiding 5 million women to self-sovereignty.